Now, they convinced us that ancient Egypt is a 3,000-year-old civilization, but where's the evidence of that? Did you know that it took them roughly 60 years to build the three pyramids? From 2550 BCE to 2490 BCE. 1,000 years later, you would expect something more impressive than the pyramids because it was a very successful civilization that was great at building things, right? Constructing their temples should have been a piece of cake compared to the pyramids. You would think you would outdo, or they would outdo themselves time and time again, like how we do now. Make things better, get more creative, but apparently not. 1,000 years later, and they can't create something more impressive than the pyramids? That's weird. The Pyramid of Giza is one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, and it's still standing. So they clearly are very fast and efficient builders. All that we see of ancient Egypt, they could do that in less than 500 years. Look at the Namr palette. Now look at Ramses the Great. Roughly a 2,000-year difference, and the artwork is pretty much the same. That is bizarre to me. Now, a 3,000-year-old civilization, and we only talk about a few pharaohs. Like, in the supposed 3,000-year-old civilization, nothing interesting happened under the other pharaohs? There's a whole history that's missing. From my understanding, the pharaoh was like king of kings. So that means that there were other kings in the empire. So quite possibly, these Egyptologists are counting regular kings as pharaohs and thus stretching out the history. Or, from my understanding, pharaohs have different titles. And it's possible that the titles are being counted as another pharaoh. So there could be a main cartouche for a pharaoh, but several cartouches could actually represent that same pharaoh. But they're counting it as one after the other after the other. Well, whatever it is, they're doing something to extend the history. Like, I know for sure because it doesn't make sense for ancient Egypt to be a 3,000-year-old civilization. Like, where's the evidence? I just don't see it. Considering how much a great and fast builders they are, where is the evidence? I would expect a lot more from them. Like, for example, the United States is not even 300 years old as a civilization, and look how much changes have occurred in less than 300 years. In less than 300 years, there's a lot of changes that occurred. So the ancient Egyptians could do those changes in 300 or 500 years. That's what I believe. A 3,000-year-old civilization with all the stuff that we see in ancient Egypt, it took them 3,000 years to do all that? No, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I know the numbers are different as far as population when it comes to, like, United States and ancient Egypt, but the ancient Egyptians were fast and great builders. Nobody can deny that. But where is the evidence of a 3,000-year-old civilization with great builders like that? If the United States lasts for 3,000 years, it would outdo everything that they have done previously. But somehow, the ancient Egyptians, after 1,000+ years, they couldn't outdo what they did with the pyramid? Their artwork pretty much looks the same from the first dynasty? Sounds sketchy to me, but I'm not surprised, because outsiders have been manipulating African history and culture for centuries.